So then he moves on to his second point about generosity, that God, through Jesus Christ, is generous to us, and we are to be generous to others. He says it this way. He says that generosity is measured by sacrifice. Here's how he says it, 2 Corinthians 8, 12 through 14. For if the readiness is there, it is acceptable according to what a person has, not according to what he does not have. If you make 50 grand a year, you shouldn't tithe 100 grand a year. That's what he's saying. For I do not mean that others should be eased and you burdened, he goes on, but that as a matter of fairness, your abundance in the present time should supply their need, so that their abundance may supply your need, that there may be fairness. Here's what he's talking about. Some people will always ask, how much should I give? What percentage of my income should I give back to God through the church? And they'll go to the Old Testament and say, 10%? All the tithes combined, 25%? New Testament, New Covenant, grace-centered giving doesn't set an amount. So we don't teach tithing at Marceau. We don't. What we do teach is sacrifice, and that's what the Bible's talking about here. I'll give you an example. Let's just say we decide everybody gives 25%. For the single mother with 3 kids whose husband just left with a secretary and emptied the bank account, that's going to destroy her whole family. For the person who is very affluent, wealthy, inherited money, has a company, owns a decent investment portfolio, and has margin, they may not even feel 25%. So what does sacrifice look like for each person? Well, for the mom, it may look like 1%. And that might be an enormous generosity. For the person who's very affluent, it may be tithing, giving 90% and living off of 10. I've actually got an acquaintance of mine who they give 90% and they live off of 10. Well, the single mom can't do that. And what he's talking about is everyone needs to find themselves somewhere on this continuum. So I'd ask you, what percentage of income, what percentage of gross, that's what it means by first fruits, has God the Holy Spirit compelled you to say, that's where I'm at this year, and if I lose my job and things get bad, I may roll back. If things get good, I may roll forward, but this is where I'm at right now with the percentage of giving that God has appointed to me. We don't teach a percentage. Instead, what we teach is receiving from Jesus and then prayerfully, carefully considering what he's asking of you, and then we are certainly glad that you would follow through in those obligations, and we rejoice in whatever that percentage is.
Each year, over 10 million Mars Hill Church sermons are downloaded worldwide for free. This ministry is generously supported by Mars Hill Church members and listeners like you. If you'd like to support our efforts to preach Jesus to the world, please consider making a tax-deductible donation by visiting marshill.com/give.